Marjorie Greene is very worried about mandatory vaccinations, in particular, federal government employees coming to your house and jabbing you in the side of the neck. It's not gonna happen, that's crazy, but she's still worried about it. That said, she does have a solution. Let's hear her out.
And one more thing on that, you lucky people here in Alabama might get a knock on your door because I hear Alabama might be one of the most unvaccinated states in the nation. Well, Joe Biden wants to come talk to you guys. He's gonna be sending one of his police state friends to your front door to knock on the door, take down your name, your address, your family members' names, your phone numbers, your cell phone numbers, probably ask for your social security number and whether you've taken the vaccine or not. Yeah, well, what they don't know is in the South, we all love our Second Amendment rights. And we're not real big on strangers showing up on our front door, are we? They might not like the welcome they get.
Okay, so Rayyvana, I'm kind of an idiot. Whatever point she's making is over my head. I can't get what she's saying there. How do you read that?
She wants to shoot people coming to vaccinate. She wants to shoot nurses. Is that what the implication there was? I also like her saying that the federal government is gonna come ask you for your social security number. Does she know where social security numbers come from? I'm pretty sure the federal government already has my address and my social and knows my name. I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, they might get my cell phone number. I think they have it. I think they probably, I love that. She thinks that like your social security number is just like, it's a natural growth on your scalp and you need to cover it. You don't want the government to ever see it or whatever. But of course, the most important point there is we love our Second Amendment. They may not like the welcome that they get. Now, of course, you have to bear in mind, nobody's coming to force you to get vaccinated. I don't think they're coming at all, but if they do now, someone that they very much respect, Marjorie Greene, has told them it's really funny and maybe patriotic to threaten them with a firearm, which is great in the time that we're in. I've often looked around America throughout 2021 and thought there aren't enough threats of political violence. I think we could use a bit more, and she's working overtime in only this one area to make sure that we get that. Now, I don't know if anyone's gonna act on it. I hope that they don't, but it's her go-to move is, Pelosi deserves a bullet in the head. Some random bureaucrat who's making, like $6 an hour, you should threaten them with a shotgun if they knock on your door. I don't know, what do you think about this turn towards political violence, Rayyvana?
Oh, I just have a very strong feeling that if anyone does feel so emboldened by her rhetoric and carries out that kind of violence, they'll blame it on Antifa. It was Antifa. But also a good American patriot would do it, but also it was Antifa somehow, because that's how their brains work.
100%. Now, I guess another point that she made that is, I think, understandably not gonna get as much attention because it's not about shooting a bureaucrat, was she talked about Alabama being one of the most unvaccinated states. And she said it with a smile and they clapped. So again, this isn't about stopping you from getting vaccinated. They're not doctors. They're not encouraging you one way or the other, except they think it's awesome that nobody's vaccinated. Anyway, so let's see how that's working for them. So here's the recent COVID case and hospitalization numbers in Alabama. Hey, what do you know? The hospitalizations are rocketing back up. They have already matched the earlier wave in 2020. Will they get all the way up to the big peak of the dark winter? I don't know. But they're not listening to me, they're listening to her. So I'm gonna say probably. And let's see how it's working out in terms of deaths. Well, the Alabama Department of Public Health said on Monday that only 1.2% of all of their nearly 3,000 deaths reported since early January have been linked to breakthrough cases. So you have a very, very low chance of dying if you become vaccinated. Doctors there say about 97% of their COVID-19 patients are unvaccinated, a sign that the vaccine works in preventing serious illness and death. Death of her constituents, death of people who support her politically, who probably really like her, including younger people. Every day there's more information about the percentage of cases that are coming from younger people. and she doesn't care. She's watching the body bags get filled and just thinking it's the most delightful thing ever, Rayyvana.
It was very dystopian to hear her say that and then have like the crowd go, Alabama #1, roll tide, all that nonsense. Like, come on. I really, all of them had to get vaccinated to go to public school when they were kids. They've all had vaccines for other things. Like, what? She's also, they're afraid of the federal government. You're cheering on part of the federal government. It's so frustrating. I wish I could grab them all and shake some sense into them.
Yeah. By the way, we didn't want to play any more of her voice than we had to, but she goes on later to say, she randomly starts talking about how Donald Trump donated his paychecks or whatever, which generally he did while he was president, although there is an investigation of the last few. It doesn't seem like he did, but anyway, I don't care. She did say, oh, but Biden's taking his paychecks. Well, hold on. What about you? Marjorie, you get paid. But are you taking your paychecks? Because apparently that would be the thing a traitor would do. They should donate it. And she's rich, by the way. She was handed a business. She's very well. So I would love to find out. I don't want to violate her HIPAA rights. I'm not asking her directly, but is she taking? If anybody wants to leak anything to Ken Klippenstein, maybe we can find out. By the way, one other point about the vaccinations and mandatory vaccinations and stuff like that. So Biden is considering requiring vaccines for active duty troops. As Rayyvana alluded to earlier, this is not new. You get vaccinated for any number of different illnesses. After all, we send our soldiers everywhere in the world, whether they're wanted or not. There's a lot of local illnesses, so we do vaccinate them against those. But also, in the wake of a campaign in New York City to both encourage via like gift cards and things like that, but also requiring vaccines now, there has been a 40% surge in vaccination there in the wake of that. At least 80,000 New Yorkers got their first shots over the last week, which ended Saturday. So it looks like this has the effect that you would want and expect when you require it, people start to get it. So good news, at least in that regard.
I'm vaccinated. I did not get a gift card. Joe Biden, I will be sending you an invoice for one gift card for my vaccines, at least $20 to Amazon, so I can get more multicolored lights for my apartment.
Exactly. I mean, and by the way, a $100 gift card, that buys a lot of margaritas at Chili's, I hear.
That's anyway. 100. That's at least 100.
That's too much probably. It's not safe.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.